everybody, and welcome to Linda's palatial office. Good morning, and thank you all for joining me. As we speak, this turbulent national economy is forcing families and small businesses across the Show Me State to make difficult decisions about spending and budgets. As they tighten their belts, families and businesses will spend money on things they prioritize, while foregoing items they may have purchased in the past. Missouri State government is no different. We must operate in the same fiscally responsible way. This isn't Washington. We don't get to print money. We must and will make the fiscally responsible decisions to balance our budget this year, next year, and every year after that. We will do this while holding the line on taxes and preserving the priorities that make Missouri a great place to live, work, and raise a family. While these budget challenges aren't unique to Missouri, we have managed them in a fiscally responsible way that has prevented the massive disruption of services that are occurring in other states. Before this fiscal year even began, we started tightening our fiscal belt and looking for ways to cut spending and become more efficient. For example, we're on track to exceed our goal of reducing energy consumption by 2% in state buildings this year, and we are saving tax dollars by renegotiating leases and contracts. Now, not even 4 months into the fiscal year, we will again take early and decisive action to ensure the responsible management of every Missouri tax dollar. For example, as I said before, we are on track to exceed the goal of reducing energy consumption by 2% and saving many thousands of dollars on leases. Today, I have authorized my budget director, Linda Lubering, to restrict an additional $204 million in spending to balance our state's budget without raising taxes and without abandoning our state's top priorities. These restrictions have become necessary due to declining state revenues caused by the ongoing national economic downturn. These actions, which Budget Director Linda Lubering will detail after I finish, mean that over the past 4 months, we have now either line item vetoed or restricted a total of $634 million from the budget passed by the legislature in May. We have taken these actions early and decisively to avoid the financial quagmire that so many other states are currently facing. These states have had to make drastic cuts to classroom funding, had tuition spikes at their colleges, tax increases, and closures of state prisons. While we have reduced $634 million in spending, we have protected our priorities: education, health care, and jobs. We are committed to ensuring that Missouri accelerates out of this economic downturn. To do that, we must have a workforce that is educated, healthy, and ready to take on the careers of tomorrow, and will bring some provider reimbursement rates in line with federal Medicare rates. These cost containments will allow us to cover more Missourians who are coming onto the Medicaid rolls during this economic downturn. For example, we are actually covering 20,000 more children than we were at the beginning of this year. By focusing on these priorities, we will keep our state moving forward while ensuring the responsible management of our limited taxpayer dollars. Protecting these core services has required us to trim in some areas. Making these reductions is never easy, but it is essential to run a fiscally conservative state government. That's the job the people of Missouri elected me to do. These steps will ensure that we have a government that Missourians can afford without raising taxes and without sacrificing our priorities of education, health care, and jobs. A few of the spending restrictions we have made will include $20 million from the Maintenance and Repair Fund for upkeep of state buildings, $4.4 million from the Missouri Arts Council, $6.9 million in additional federal bonus funds that would have been used for administrative purposes for our food stamp program, $8.8 million from our broadband program, which will not be needed to make our local match if we are selected for Recovery Act funding, $9 million in extra mental health federal funding that is above and beyond what was budgeted but could have been used for new pilot programs, $12 million in continued downsizing of state agency payrolls. This will cause the elimination of at least 450 additional part-time positions and 200 additional full-time positions. That means a total of 1,700 full-time positions will have been eliminated since the start of the year. As we speak, other states are waiting on Washington for solutions, are putting off the tough but vital decisions we have already made. In Missouri, we're taking action. Time and again, we have witnessed what happens when other states fail to act early, leaving them no choice but to slash money from classrooms, increase tuition, raise taxes, cut health care coverage, and fail to fund the prisons and law enforcement officers that keep our families safe. Because of our appropriately bold steps, we've avoided those dire situations, and we've gained the respect of national economic experts. Missouri remains one of only 7 states, and the only state in the Midwest, to achieve a AAA status for all 3 bond rating firms. This distinction is a sign that we're taking the right steps and will ensure a tremendous savings for state government and Missouri businesses and families.